We often don't get to choose who we fall in love with, and Prince Salim of the Mughal dynasty of India was no exception. When Salim first met Anarkali, an exceptionally beautiful dancer who was also favored by his father, Emperor Akbar, he fell head over heels in love with her. But what problem could the bachelor prince of an empire falling in love with a beautiful dancer cause? Alas, this was actually the single greatest sin Salim ever committed, or at least his father thought so. While Anarkali was a famed dancer of the court, she was of common birth, and unfit to marry with a prince. Salim, on the other hand, was completely blinded by her beauty and grace, and wanted nothing more than to marry her in his life. At first, Anarkali tried to distance herself from Salim. She knew that no amount of love could bring the two together and spare Emperor Akbar's wrath on them, but Salim ultimately took a hold of her heart, and they began seeing each other and whispering sweet nothings in secret. Even so, they could only keep this secret for so long. After all, the court of Emperor Akbar had many visitors and servants, and the news of their secret affair would eventually reach his ears. When Emperor Akbar learned that the two were meeting in secret, he became furious, and began to plot to make her fall out of favor with the prince. Ultimately, his plan backfired, and when Salim learnt of his father's deception, he openly declared war on him. However, his attempts were futile, since the outcome of the war had already been predetermined. Emperor Akbar commanded a larger army, and Salim quickly ended up on the losing side of this war. The emperor, enraged by his son's behavior and disobedience, ordered for him to be executed. Anarkali, who was watching everything unfold from the shadows, could not bear the thought of her love being executed. She emerged from her hiding place, and offered her life in exchange for Salim to be pardoned. The emperor accepted her plea, and ordered for her to be buried alive in front of Salim's eyes. Soon after, Anarkali was put in a tomb with tears in her eyes as Salim watched in horror, unable to do anything. From that day on, Anarkali was no more, and Salim had to carry on with a broken heart that could never be mended. He eventually became Emperor Jahangir and ruled the empire, but never once did he forget his first and true love, Anarkali. Not even in death.